capsule model. I'm going to share my learnings of life and experience with all of you about this particular topic, which says leadership, the butterfly story. So, as the topic suggests, it's a story. So, let me walk you through the story. So there's this little child, okay, in a house, and he finishes his school, comes, throws his bag, and comes up to his room. His room is in the first floor, so they live in a duplex house, and he's got a grandfather who lives along with him. So he comes up and he changes into his home clothes, and obviously he has his snack, and he's sitting near a window, and that window has got his study table attached, and the window actually has got a windowsill, and very close to the window is a tree. Okay, and this fellow, and it's the guy loves nature. So the grandfather comes, and there's the chitter chatting happening between the grandfather and the grandson, and the little kid is actually putting his hand on the table and focusing on the tree and the branch which is very closer to his window, and he's very seriously looking, and that he realizes that there's this branch which has got something hanging on it, and it's a cocoon, and it's shaking really, really bad. So he calls his grandfather and says, Tata, can you just come and see what is happening? So the grandfather looks at the cocoon and he says, ah, interesting. Keep looking. You will get the answer. He says, no, I want to know what is there in it. He says, no, no, no. I'm not going to tell you anything. Look, keep looking, keep watching, keep observing. Now the little fellow has got homeworks to do, which he'll not do because he's very curious to know what is happening. So in the process, he's spending a lot of time just watching, and with the time, the vigorous shaking is just getting increased. Okay, it's really, really shaking bad, and this guy is really getting uncomfortable. But what his grandfather has told him is keep observing. So this guy keeps observing, and suddenly in the observation, he realizes that there's a small little pocket or a hole that got opened up from the bottom of the cocoon. And he sees something trying to come out of it. He's able to figure that out because it's very visible. And the tree and the branch is not very far from his window. So the visibility is very much there. So this little fellow is so excited that he's able to see something come out, and he's screaming and shouting and howling. But the grandfather still says the job is not done. You still have to observe. After a long time of observation and a long time of shaking, he still realizes that there is something hanging, but it's still not come further down. And now, slowly and steadily, the shaking is getting reduced. And after some time, he realizes the shaking isn't happening at all. He's very scared. He's extremely scared. He calls his grandfather. His grandfather nods horizontally and says, no, I'm not coming. Observe, observe. Now, this guy is very curious, and he knows there is a butterfly because the grandfather did tell him that there is a butterfly inside. And he actually wants to see the butterfly come out and fly, especially the colors that it is, it'll manifest itself into. So this guy is very, very curious about knowing what is happening. And he realizes that he's losing patience and his grandfather is not paying a heed. So what he does, he ventures his hand out of the window, pulls off the branch towards his window, and gets the branch closer to his study table, gets it inside, gets it to the study table. And he has got a small little pocket knife in his drawer. So he takes out the pocket knife and slits slowly and very cautiously and carefully, slits the small little opening which is at the um, bottom of the cocoon, and slowly takes it to the windowsill and leaves it there. And the branch goes off, and this cocoon remains in the uh, platform of the window. And now this guy is so very curious now that the thing has got the larger area has become, and so that he is now sure that the butterfly will come out, and for sure the butterfly comes out. So after a lot of struggle, the butterfly comes out, and the guy looks at the butterfly and he realizes it's all crumpled, and the wings are all very sticky, and the body of the butterfly doesn't look very interesting. It's very mushy all through. The wings are not as interesting as he thought it would be, and he is not happy because he was looking at a beautiful butterfly come out, whereas what he sees to what he's dreamt about is absolutely opposite, and is greatly disappointed. So he walks up to his grandfather and calls his grandfather and says, look, look, I was looking at a butterfly come out with beautiful colors, and this is what I get to see. And it is crumpled and mushy and not nice. The wings are not opening up, and I see the butterfly struggle to walk. The grandfather is not obviously very happy, and he says to the child that I asked you to wait. But the child says, no, I knew that the butterfly was struggling and I wanted to help. That was my intention. And when I helped now, it still doesn't seem to move. So something is wrong with the butterfly. And by the time this grandfather and the grandchild is having a conversation, out comes a lizard, okay, and comes and has his first meal of the day. Okay, eats of that butterfly, which is struggling to even walk, not able to crawl. It comes and just grabs the whole thing and eats it off. And in the process of conversation, both the grandfather and the grandchild are observing that this fiasco has happened, and the little fellow starts to cry and cry really bad because he's hurt. He wanted to help the butterfly come out, see the beautiful butterfly fly away, and now in the whole process, the butterfly couldn't even walk. It was not even able to crawl, and last but not the least was a meal for a lizard. So this was something which was absolutely beyond his comprehension. When you look at this story in the context of life, the little fellow had a very good heart. Okay, the little fellow had an intention, okay, of helping the butterfly come out. His intention was only to make its life easier to come out. But in the process, what did it do? In the process of helping, he actually made the butterfly handicapped. Now, why did it make in the process of handicap this? Please understand, when the cocoon is so tight and the hole is so small and the cocoon is so tight, the whole process of nature is that it made it in such a way that when the butterfly is actually struggling to come out of that cocoon, come out of that hole, it has to actually put in a lot of effort, okay, to the wings to push it open, fall down, and then fly out. You understand? So in the process of pushing, there's a lot of blood that gets circulated to the wings. So when the blood is getting circulated to the wings become stronger. So this process of opening up the cocoon and struggling of opening up the cocoon with wings makes it only stronger. But the little fellow didn't know. The little fellow thought, if I can open it, I can make his life more easier. Now, when you connect this story in connection with our life, we also go through a lot of struggles. Okay, every single day we have a struggle at the professional level or on the personal front. We all have struggles that we all move about or face. But there are only those people who are successful. They are the best leaders who sail through this struggle, who work on their wings, who generate or go through that process of struggle, go through that process of immense experience, okay, go through that pain of learning, and eventually become leaders. Okay, leaders of organizations, leaders of mass, leaders of, I'm not talking political people as leaders, so please do not think I'm talking about the political people as leaders. I am talking about leaders who lead people, who guide people, who motivate people, who mentor people. Okay, so the whole story that you need to understand when it comes to the butterfly effect or a butterfly story of leadership is, a leader doesn't become a leader overnight. He has to go through the churning of life, struggle through, sail through all of that, come out as a strong winner. Same thing is with us too. Every individual is a leader in himself or herself, but it all depends on whether we want to go through that struggle. So every struggle that we get in our life, please understand, is to make us more stronger, make us more better human, make us more beautiful people, make us more people like whom we can inspire others. So never look at challenges, never look at problems, never look at difficulties as a situation that will put you down, but a situation that will keep you growing into a beautiful leader, into a beautiful person, into an inspiration for inspiration for others. I hope this story makes some sense. Let us all develop some amount of this struggle and leadership in us, so we are not only helpful for ourselves but also to others. God bless you all.
సేపు ఫ్రెష్గా